Hey everybody, my name is Eric Schmuter, and in today's video I'll be talking about things that you shouldn't do as a skater. So number one is having a heavy backpack. Now having a heavy backpack while you're skating is a big no. The reason is because since you're going to have a lot more weight, even if it's a small amount of weight, it still actually does a lot. So when you do tricks like ollies, shove its, or manuals or going downhill is actually harder to maintain balance and control over your body since you have that extra weight, which is not your own weight, is extra weight outside of your body. It's like carrying dumbbells, like 5 pound dumbbells. If you don't really know or think that 5 pound dumbbells is gonna like affect much of your weight and your speed, then you're mistakenly wrong, because it actually does. Not hugely, but it does, and you're used to your own weight. Let's say you weigh 130, like me, and you actually have a backpack, and that backpack weighs around like 5. That's 135 pounds. Now, of course, when you jump, the backpack is not tight to yourself. It's a little bit more loose. So when you jump down, it creates extra force, meaning that it will be like 7 or 10 pounds with the pressure being dropped down, going up and down when you ollie or you jump with a skateboard. So it's a must no, right? It's a big no. Um, the only thing you could use, or if it's acceptable, it would be to actually use it as transportation. If you're going from point A to point B, right, and your only transportation or method of transportation is a skateboard, you could use it as far as cruising, but I wouldn't use it as any tricks possible. No power slides, no manuals, no ollies, no finger flips, nothing. No freestyle, nothing. It would greatly affect how you do these tricks. And if you're going downhill or trying to do it because you're like, hey, I'm traveling and I saw this thing, you could get injured. And if you have something expensive in the backpack, it could also get damaged. So the second one is jewelry. Any type of jewelry that consists of earrings, sunglasses, necklaces, chains, watches, any type of stuff like that, you want to avoid. And the reason is, let's say you have an expensive watch. It's crystal. It's not an exercise watch. It's crystal. It's like, oh, hey, it's a dressing watch, right? Formal watch. Let's say you fall down and you accidentally hit it, or you start like jumping up and down. I had this experience with this watch that I had. It was really cheap, but basically I was playing basketball with it, and I didn't get hit or anything. I was just playing by myself, and the fingers, let's call them the fingers, right, which indicates the hours and the minutes and the seconds, fell off. They kind of broke off where they were handled at, right? So I wouldn't recommend that. And even if you fall, you could break up the glass or fucked up, or break anything else inside the watch, since it's really small parts, and you want to avoid that. The next one is really big earrings. Now I've skated with earrings since I got a piercing, and they're okay, but if you add like a lot of weight to it, the earrings that dangle off your ear, don't skate with that. If you want, you could just take them off, or just put something smaller so it doesn't bother you and creates more weight, like I said previously. The other one is chain or necklaces. You could have a tight chain. If it's a tight chain that right fits right around here, you could be like, okay, that is not gonna go up and down and bother my face, my eyesight, or my mouth. That's perfectly fine. But if you care about your jewelry, you should take it off and be like, okay, I'm not gonna skate with this because I don't want to get it messed up or break it or anything. If it's a heavy jewelry, also take it off. You could use it, but heavier stuff tend to make you more like I said, slow, and tricks are gonna be different because the weight is different because you're having extra weight on yourself. The other reason is because if you have loose chains, like I used to have, once you do like a trick, the chain will go up and down, and sometimes it used to hit my nose, my teeth, right, my chin, and I was really mad at it. If you don't want to take your chain out, you could just put it like under your shirt, right, or beneath your shirt. That way, it doesn't get out when you're doing the tricks. Um, the other one is skating with expensive clothing, right? I see a lot of these dudes skating with like oh, they got these baggy pants or these tight pants, and they're really pricey, like, oh, fashion brand. You want to avoid that. Now, of course, if you have the money to actually, if they get ripped, they break, they split, or whatever, they get damaged, and you can buy two pairs just like that the first day it breaks, then sure, why not? You can wear them. But if you're like, okay, no, I don't have the money to pay two pairs of pants for this same pair that I bought today, so don't skate with the expensive clothing, right? Only skate You could skate with that expensive clothing if it's really old and kind of like dirty and used up. You can just skate with that, right? Now this doesn't apply to shoes because I would say that shoes. I see a lot of people with skating Balenciagas, skating hypebeast shoes, and I'm not mad at that because I'm like at the end of the day it just looks cool, but you should also be kind of careful with that because if you're getting a limited edition shoe or a high price shoe and you're like, yeah, I don't have the money to pay that shoe right now, that was just a gift or something like that, then yeah, you shouldn't skate with that shoe. But if you have the money or it doesn't mean a lot to you and you can just buy that shoe like by the end of the week when you get paid or something like that, then yeah, there's no problem with that. You can skate with that. The other one is earphones. You see these ones I'm wearing? These are wired, right? And these come off really easy. So you don't want to have earphones that come off really easy. Um, or as a matter of fact, none in when you're skating. In fact, because you want to be the most comfortable, the most concentrated, and you want to have nothing on yourself. You know how basketball players play basketball? They don't have anything on them. All they have that's expensive is the shoe and the uniform, right? And maybe like a headgear or headband for the sweat, or maybe some sleeves, protection and whatnot. This applies to skateboard as well. You don't want to wear no headphones, earphones, even if they're wireless or wired. Wired, you should never wear them because I used to have some wired earphones. They're not these ones, but I used to have ones, and I used to skate with them, and they would get sweaty. They would start like ripping out, and they got fucked by the time because I was using them a lot. Roughly, street skating, and not only that, they used to get in my way, like in the middle of the leg and the knee when I used to like bend down to pop and do a trick. It would just get there and it would just rip off the cord where it was plugged in from the phone, or I would just flip out the phone as well. And I don't recommend it. Wireless, I could recommend it, but even so, I've seen people skate with like wireless and Bluetooth earphones, and I see them like drop the earpiece, and I'm like, dude, that costs like $100, right, or 200, depending on what brand you bought it from, and so it's like I wouldn't recommend it because they're expensive as well. Now, if you're gonna like warm up, then yeah, sure. But if you're gonna go for big tricks, like I'm gonna jump 5 stairs, 7 stairs, I'm gonna do a kick flip, a heel flip, I'm gonna do a pop shove, this and that. I'm like, okay, dude, don't use anything at all. Just use the shoes, the clothing, maybe the protective gear, and that's it. Don't start using like, I'm gonna be using the earphones, the chain, the watches, this and that. No, because if you actually take a bad fall, you're gonna really mess up the things that you have, and you're gonna have to buy them again or repair them. And lastly, is the phone. Now the phone is basically what's most important in everybody's lives because you can just call anybody with it. You can see internet with it. You can see videos, hear music, right? So I wouldn't recommend using your phone when you're skating, and never put them in your pockets, not even your back pockets. That's a big red flag. If you put them in your back pocket, when you generally fall, you fall backwards, right? You fall on your butt, you fall on your back. I had this occasion, right, this one time that I was skating, and I think I fell. I don't even remember. I think it was like jumping. An obstacle was really small. I was starting to get used to it, and so I literally jumped over and it landed bad, and so I went and bam, I hit the floor with my butt, right, and so I was like, oh, my phone's there. And I take a look, and the screen protector is cracked. Not the phone screen, but it could have been cracked or it could have bent. The same thing happened some months ago where I was wearing, a different phone and different pants. basketball shorts. I was doing this trick and it kept hitting my thigh, not my knee, but my thigh. And so when I looked at it, the screen protector as well was cracked. So I wouldn't recommend using phones right in your pockets when you're skating. It's a big no, it's a red flag. You must avoid that. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say in this video, like the things that you should avoid as a skater. And I hope you actually find it interesting and take my advice. Peace out.